But we're talking NBA playoffs, ladies and gents. And speaking of game sevens, we had a bunch of them yesterday. Not just the Rangers advancing, but now the Boston Celtics doing work against the Milwaukee Bucks. This is just defeating to the point where I'm left speechless because obviously I picked the Bucks to repeat. Did I not?
Both you guys did.
Not
to repeat, but to go to the final.
You picked them. I picked them to rep. I picked them to win.
We picked Suns and Bucks both.
Both
we
of
had
us
different
did.
winners.
Yep. Both in game 6.
And both are bye-bye. So this one, we start with this one. I go to my old stat sheet here. Giannis obviously plays his ass off again, but it's just Giannis. And but there were other guys. Drew Holiday had himself a game. Brooke Lopez contributed big. I got to ask this game. I watched a lot of the Dallas game. Well, not much of a game to watch, but as far as this one is concerned, was this ever close? Because obviously I was
it got within 10 midway through the third.
Mm-hmm.
But Kyle had been talking about this the entire postseason and a little bit prior to that, and it was Milwaukee's 3-point defense. Their perimeter defense was just non-existent. They were just one step too late on every single extra pass, and Boston did a great job in transition, setting up open buckets. They really just controlled the game through and through. They got, like I said, they got within 10, I think 2 or 3 times in the third quarter, but then just gave up big threes after big threes, and it would go back up to 13, then 16. They'd fight back a little bit, but just too much, man. There's 2 stars on that team.
To start the fourth quarter, the Bucks were shooting 4 from 25 from 3. Put it to you that way.
So they were just missing left and right. But
they got Tatum in trouble.
I got to give it up to the Boston defense to hold the Bucks to 81 points.
Yep.
I mean, come on. I know it's missing shots and everything, but there got to be some challenges. You know what I mean? Some challenge shots for them to just score 81 in a game 7.
Bad turnovers in bad spots. They didn't have. I think even Boston might have had more turnovers than the Bucks did in the entire game, or at least very close. You wouldn't notice it. But points off turnovers all went to the Celtics, and just the time of the turnovers when you're down 10 and you get the possession back. And then you just have a bad pass by Drew Holiday out of bounds for no reason. Thought the ref was a player. You can't have those mistakes in the third quarter.
They had
in game 7.
Tatum had 3 fouls, like to end the.
I saw you tweet that there was a foul trouble early.
And Giannis went off in the first half.
Yeah, bro. There was a point in like the third, fourth quarter for like 4 or 5 minutes where number 11 from the Celtics, what was his name? Pritchard, white dude. Oh my, just hitting threes, bro. The crowd was going
big
crazy.
Time stat out of Kyle here. It says Bucks hit 4 threes. The Celtics hit 22.
Yeah,
that's a 54-point difference from the 3-point line. And thank you, Chris Payne, for your super sticker.
Yeah, you can sit
Appreciate
there and
you,
break
brother.
down all you'd like, and you could say this player might have helped or that player may have helped. But in a game like that, where you get outscored 54 points from behind the arc, that's the answer. We could break it down all we want. That's what it is. Middleton didn't matter. Nobody would have mattered in this one.
It's a lot of defense, man. We've been talking about this with Celtics since the playoffs started. That they had to be the best defensive team in the playoffs.
Well, we're going to see a dog fight
now. Tomorrow,
I can't wait for that.
Tomorrow
series.
on the show, we will be breaking down both conference championship rounds. We don't want to dive too far into that today because, again, we want to save it for tomorrow. The games actually start tomorrow. According to Scoop, we're actually doing a top 5 per position going to next season on the cross-court cast tonight. So they're going to record that, drop that tomorrow morning. Maybe he could send me a list of it and we can go over it tomorrow and we'll debate that as well. Kyle wants to be a guest, so hook that up. It's literally this StreamYard. We use as our account. So anyway, Celtics move on. They'll be playing the Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals. I just can't believe. And shout out to Giannis for making an excuse. Like both now, all of a sudden, Embiid, Giannis, all these guys are making excuses. If you go to the coaching staff, they're going to say, we got to be better. We got to do a lot of coach speak, and that's fine. That's all expected. But for him to come out there and say, if Middleton was playing, it would be a different series. No shit.
I got
for you to say that, it's like
I got to hear the context because he may have been speaking for 2 or 3 minutes on the subject and have said that, but there could have been the obvious player speak attached to it that they didn't attach to this quote. If you get what I'm saying, where I'm sure he said
yes.
We didn't do. I'm sure he said all the right things, but also said that, and they were like, "Oh, he said that too. Fuck that. We're keeping
pull that.
One.
Media has a problem with pulling shit.
But like a month ago on the show, I said that the Bucks had nobody but Giannis, and I got shit on. They were winning this series 3 games to 2. Okay, so what does that say about Giannis? Taking over the series
or your comment being that
no, not my comment. No, not my comment means nothing. I'm just saying, like, just reading that the Celtics just came back and took 3 games from them.
I think it says.
I say this about Luka all the time.
I think it says more about the Celtics stars at this point.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
They're elevating their game, and if anybody had Jason Tatum outside their top 10, Now you have to strongly consider him in your top 5. He just dethroned KD. Now I understand the Nets were a little bit of a shell of themselves because they weren't full strength.
Okay.
And then he took out the defending champion Giannis. So he's slaying legends right now on his way to Eastern Conference Finals.
Think about that.
Jaylen Brown is no slouch, right? He's a legit star too. But Jason Tatum is that guy.
He just took Kyrie, KD, Giannis, and now he gets Jimmy in the Heat. Woo!
You think Kyrie gets the extension that everybody's talking about? I know it's like off
Nike's not even giving him shoes anymore.
Well,
he'll go to Adidas in a heartbeat.
Besides that, as far as from a basketball standpoint, I'm not sure.
That's right. It's it's very weird.
The Nets have some decisions to make.
Listen, I'm not about to sit there and beat the Nets over the head already. They got swept out of the series. They're done, right? They're a joke.
Well, Kyrie has an opt-in year.
I don't think it has anything to do with the opt-in year. I'm not sure. The way I know is the Nets control it. So I think it's a Nets option, right? Because look, all of a sudden, you had a team that was stacked with Harden, why can't I just think of the guy's name? We just talked about Harden, KD, and now Kyrie. And all of a sudden, within like a calendar year, it's just gone, just up in smoke.
Sure,
literally,
man.
all three of them. There might be one guy left on that team.
I think there was writing on the
he
wall
don't even want to be
before
there,
it even started. When you do these things, a lot of these things don't work out long term.
Crazy.
KD went to the Warriors. You thought maybe that would be a dynasty. He left immediately too. It's just the way it goes when you have that many stars.
He was winning over there.
You have that many stars in one environment. Things tend to bubble over. KD and Draymond did not get along at all.
Okay. AJ Bascone joining the party saying, is this coming from the same guy that says Spoelstra's not a top 3 coach? Hey, look.
What's his argument there? I don't understand.
No, he's saying that, you say that there's only Giannis, and then that was proved false.
I think AJ was the one that made the biggest stink about saying that. He's a Bucks defender. He actually has a Bucks and 6 shirt that he made last year.
Well, you could use it to wash my car windows today if you'd like.
Oh my goodness. But anyway, we'll preview the Eastern Conference Finals tomorrow. And we'll obviously need you, Kyle. We'll need you, AJ. We'll need all you guys tomorrow to talk Eastern Conference Finals.
That's a good point, though. I want to bring up Kyle's last point where he's talking about
here.
Yeah, isn't it dope that all the free agency built elite teams are gone from the postseason? All remaining teams are, for the most part, built organically, good for the NBA. I agree. It's definitely great for the NBA. I don't think it's going to matter to any potential star.
No.
When it comes time to get his bag, though, he's going to want to go where he wants to go.
You know. But I talked to you about before the show. Like, look at the Celtics. The year they drafted Tatum in 2018, they had the first pick in the draft, traded it to the Sixers, so the Sixers
and they got Tatum third anyway.
And they got Tatum third anyway. And the Lakers and the Sixers passed up on him.
Danny Ainge gave them. Now he's gone out of Boston. Now he stepped down.
Yeah, he's not there no more.
Yeah, it's
the final gift was Tatum. That was just a beautiful move by him.
Now I bring this.